Mingoose Mouse, and Semolina books, the Dingbats. Semolina Pilchard had decided to throw the loudest, fizziest, sparkliest party the forest had ever seen. He zoomed into the clearing on his magic carpet, wearing his red fez and dark sunglasses, waving his little wand like a famous party king. "Tonight," cried Semolina, "we shall have music, snacks, lanterns, fizzberries, loopy-loo live on stage, and absolutely no boring bits whatsoever." Mingoose Mouse stood beside the party table in her pink fluffy collar and looked around carefully. There were paper lanterns in the trees, bunting between the branches, plates of chocolate buns, jam sandwiches, mooncakes, pickled onion crisps, fizzy pop bottles, and one very important covered bowl labeled fizzberries. "Do not warm up." Puff Chicken strutted in wearing her glittery gold dress, crown, jewels, sparkly handbag, and gold shoes. "I do enjoy a tasteful party," she said, fluttering her lashes. Snark Claw sat high in a tree with his wings folded, looking already suspicious. On the little wooden stage, Loopy Loo, the singing doll, stood beside her vintage microphone, her rainbow yarn hair bouncing and her button eyes shining. "La la la," she sang. "Loopy Loo is ready," Semolina spun in the air. "And now, my friends, the most important announcement of all. I have booked professional event planners." Mingoose Mouse blinked. "Professional?" Semolina nodded proudly. "Very professional, very organized, very clipboardy." Just then, two tiny black bats in little black suits came flapping through the trees. Their eyes were slightly crossed, their ties were crooked, and one of them had a party hat stuck to his ear. They landed with a wobble in front of everyone and held up two clipboards. One clipboard said, "Party Plan." The other said, "Where is the plan?" "Bonjour," cried the first bat. "We are Fonk and Bonk," cried the second. "The finest forest party planners in all the trees." Mingoose Mouse looked at them gently. "Fonk and Bonk?" Semolina grinned. "Yes. Bonk is called Bonk because when he was small, he flew straight into a tree." Bonk nodded proudly. "It was a very firm tree." Semolina pointed at the other bat. "And Fonk is called Fonk because he flew straight into Bonk. Their mother said Fonk rhymed with Bonk, and that was that." Fonk bowed. "A beautiful family tradition." Bonk rubbed the little bump on his head. "Painful, but beautiful." Puff Chicken whispered, "They look expensive." Snark Claw muttered from the branch, "They look dangerous." Mingoose Mouse took a small, steady breath. "All right," she said. "With Mingoose Mouse, we always go steady." We, said Fonk. "Very steady." "Extremely steady," said Bonk, while accidentally dropping his clipboard on his own foot. At first, the party seemed almost under control. Loopy Loo sang a cheerful welcome song. The forest animals clapped. Semolina handed out jam sandwiches. Puff Chicken tasted one chocolate bun, then another, just to check they were suitable for guests. Fonk and Bonk marched about with important expressions, pointing at lanterns, streamers, boxes, cups, and things they did not understand. Then Bonk spotted the old gramophone sitting beside the stage. "Ah!" he cried. "Musique." Fonk nodded. "Atmosphere." Loopy Loo leaned into her microphone and sang, "Welcome to the forest party. Happy as can be." Bonk turned the gramophone handle. It gave a soft little crackle. "Lovely," said Mingoose Mouse. Then Fonk turned a knob. Then Bonk turned another knob. Then Fonk turned the first knob again, because he could not remember which way was quieter. Suddenly the gramophone blasted out a trumpet noise so loud that leaves shook off the trees. "Bramp! Bramp! Bramp!" The rabbits jumped into a bush. The hedgehogs rolled into balls. A squirrel dropped a sandwich on its own head. Loopy Loo tried to sing over it. "La la la!" The gramophone roared louder. "Too loud," said Mingoose Mouse. "Turn it down." "We, of course," said Fonk, turning the knob. The gramophone got louder. "This is not down," said Bonk. "This is very much up." Bonk hit the side of the gramophone with his clipboard. The music changed into a marching band, a squeaky violin, and something that sounded like a goat falling into a saucepan. Puff Chicken gasped. "I love this song." She drank half a bottle of fizzy pop and ate 2 more chocolate buns. Semolina clapped from his carpet. Wonderful! Nobody can hear themselves think. That is not a good thing, said Mingoose Mouse. But by then Fonk and Bonk had moved on to the lanterns. Semolina had asked them to hang the moon lanterns gently from the lower branches. Instead, Bonk tied all the lantern strings together because he said it would be more efficient. Fonk tried to untangle them and pulled the wrong ribbon. 47 glowing lanterns shot into the air at once. "Oh!" gasped the animals. "Ah!" shouted Fonk and Bonk. The lanterns floated up through the branches, wrapped around twigs, and drifted towards the blue portal tree. A sleepy bird shot out of her nest wearing a nightcap. "My eggs do not need mood lighting," she squawked. One lantern landed on Semolina Pilchard's fez and made him look like a golden lighthouse. "Stylish," said Semolina. Another lantern floated past Loopy Lou's microphone, making her voice echo through the trees. "Mon cheese," sang Loopy Lou by accident. Puff Chicken froze. Her blue eye widened. Did someone say moon cheese? Mingoose Mouse looked at the chocolate wrappers beside Puff Chicken's feet. "Puff Chicken, how many chocolate buns have you eaten?" Puff Chicken stood taller. "I declined to answer on artistic grounds." Then she drank another sip of fizzy pop. Her feathers started to fluff. Her feet began to tap. Her handbag swung. Her crown tilted. "Moon cheese and pickled onions," she sang. "Moon cheese and pickled onions. Put them in a sandwich and dance with the pigeons." Loopy Lou clapped with delight. "I know that one," she cried, though she absolutely did not. Puff Chicken leapt onto a log holding chocolate in one wing and cola in the other. "Moon cheese, pickled onions, fizzy pop explosions." Loopy Lou joined in from the microphone. "Moon cheese, pickled onions," the gramophone blasted. The lanterns bobbed, the animals covered their ears. Fonk and Bonk flapped in circles, trying to look professional. "Is this part of the program?" shouted Fonk. "I think this is a program now," shouted Bonk. Semolina Pilchard waved his wand in delight. "This is the best party I have ever booked." Mingoose Mouse did not smile. The little animals were no longer laughing. A baby badger was trembling under the snack table. A rabbit had tears in her eyes. A field mouse was hiding inside a paper cup. Then Bonk made the worst decision of the evening. "We need a cozy bonfire," he cried. "A party needs glow." Fonk nodded. Glow means success." They gathered sticks in the clearing and built a small bonfire. That would have been all right if they had used ordinary kindling. But Fonk picked up the wrong bowl. The covered bowl. The bowl labeled "Fizz Berries. Do not warm up." Mingoose Mouse saw it at once. "No," she said sharply. "Do not put those in the fire." Fonk froze. Bonk froze. Semolina froze. Puff Chicken sang, "Pickled onions on the moon." Then Fonk tripped on a streamer. The bowl tipped, and the fizzberries bounced straight into the flames. For one tiny second, the whole forest went silent. Then the bonfire went fizz. Then pop. Then pip, 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 poff. Purple sparks shot into the air. Pink smoke curled through the branches. Fizzberries bounced like tiny fireworks. Lanterns wobbled. Cups tipped over. The gramophone roared. Loopy Lou squeaked into the microphone. Puff Chicken spun in circles, singing, "Moon cheese, pickled onions, ooh la 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 la." The rabbits began to cry. The hedgehogs covered their ears. The baby badger wailed, "I want to go home." A little bird cried, "My nest is glowing." Fonk shouted, "Bonk, you were in charge of fire." Bonk shouted, "No, Fonk, you were in charge of not fire." Semolina's smile finally disappeared. "Oh dear," he said. "This has become slightly more mayhem than snacks." That was when Mingoose Mouse climbed onto a tree stump in the middle of the clearing. She was small. She was soft. She was not the loudest creature in the forest, but when Mingoose Mouse stood still, something in the air changed. She raised one paw and said, "Stop." The word cut through the gramophone, through the singing, through the fizzing berries, through the flapping bats, and even through Puff Chicken's moon cheese chorus. Everyone froze. Fonk froze with a streamer round his wing. Bonk froze holding an empty bowl. Semolina froze with a lantern still glowing on his fez. Loopy Loo held the microphone with both hands and went quiet. Puff Chicken puffed into a round white ball of feathers with angry blue eyes and a red comb sticking up. She said from inside the fluff. Mingoose Mouse looked at the crying animals. Then she looked at Fonk and Bonk. Then she looked at Semolina. This is not fun anymore, she said. A party is only a party if everyone feels safe. If the little ones are crying, the noise stops. If lanterns are loose, the flying stops. If fizzberries are popping, the fire stops. We go steady. For a moment, nobody moved. Then, from high above the trees, came Snark Claw's sharp voice. About time. He swooped down from the dark branch, black wings cutting through the smoky air. I could hear this racket from the top of the old pine. Fonk whispered. Is he part of Z Entertainment? Bonk whispered. I hope not. Snarkclaw gave them both a stare that made their ears droop. Then he flew upwards and grabbed the lantern strings in his claws. One by one, he pulled the floating lanterns away from nests and guided them safely down. Mingoose Mouse covered the fizzing bonfire with the old iron lid from Semolina's jam pan. The fizzberries went pop, pip, pfuff, and then settled. Loopy Loo switched off the microphone. Puff Chicken sat on the ground in her puffball form, holding a cup of water and looking deeply offended by her own choices. I may, she muttered, have overdone the chocolate. Semolina Pilchard lowered his carpet and took the glowing lantern off his fez. He looked at the rabbits wiping their eyes, the field mice creeping out from under napkins, and the baby badger still sniffing beside the snack table. His golden face softened. Oh, he said quietly. I only wanted everyone to have a wonderful time. Mingoose Mouse nodded. Then we make it wonderful again. Quietly. Fonk raised one wing. Can we still be event planners? Bonk nodded. We have learned many lessons. Snarkclaw narrowed his eyes. Name one. Fonk looked at the gramophone. Loud is not the same as fun. Bonk looked at the bonfire. Fizzberries are not firewood. Semolina looked at Puff Chicken. And chocolate buns may require supervision. Puff Chicken glared from inside her fluff. Careful, fish. Mingoose Mouse smiled a tiny smile. Good. That is a start. So they changed the party. Snarkclaw perched above the clearing and kept watch over the lanterns. Fonk and Bonk carefully untangled the streamers and rehung the bunting the right way up. Semolina handed out calm jam sandwiches. Loopy Loo sang a soft little song without the microphone. Puff Chicken slowly unpuffed, drank her water, and promised not to sing about moon cheese and pickled onions until at least next Tuesday. The little animals came back one by one. The rabbits smiled again. The hedgehogs unrolled. The baby badger ate a jam sandwich and said it was much better now. The gramophone played very quietly. The lanterns glowed safely in the trees. The forest became warm and gentle again. Mingoose Mouse looked around at her friends and said, There. A party does not have to be wild to be wonderful. Semolina nodded. Yes. Next time, only half the mayhem. Mingoose Mouse gave him a look. Or none. Fonk and Bonk bowed. Oui, said Fonk. Very steady. Extremely steady, said Bonk, walking backwards and gently bumping into a tree. Fonk bumped into Bonk. They both fell softly into a box of ribbons. Snarkclaw sighed. Runs in the family. Everyone laughed, but quietly this time. But far away, beyond the forest and high up on the dark mountain, someone else had heard the noise. In a crooked little cottage, a warm yellow window opened. A long, thin nose appeared. A pair of sharp eyes looked down at the glowing forest below. The last tiny echo of Puff Chicken's song drifted up the mountain air. Moon cheese and pickled onions. The witch frowned. Too loud, she whispered. Much too loud. Down in the clearing, Mingoose Mouse looked up towards the mountain. She could not see the witch, but she felt the night shift. Snarkclaw landed beside her and narrowed his eyes at the distant dark shape above the trees. Something hurt us, he said. Mingoose Mouse nodded calmly. Then everyone inside soon, she said. We have had enough excitement for one party. And under the soft lantern light with the gramophone quiet, the fizzberries settled, and Puff Chicken finally silent, the forest friends packed away the last of Semolina's chaotic party, not knowing that the next adventure had already begun.